Go.
Hello, I'm Tim Deese. Sit back and let me tell you a story. Storybook selling is not something we dreamed up from items that we found around the world on the internet. Before I brought storybook selling to fruition, I had to know beyond the shadow of any doubt that what we were teaching you is true, and everything that we pronounce and do in our class to teach you how to be a storybook dealer is fact. If you look at the simplicity of storybook, it boils down to this. If it's not storybook selling and a storybook vehicle, it's just another used car with a damage report. It came to my attention many years ago that the percentage of sales by pre-owned individuals were gaining at a rapid pace on new car dealers. I knew a lot of this was because of Certified. Certified crimped a manager's ability to trade for a lot of off-make product because the knowledge and learning was focused on their own, which is great for your new car sales and your pre-owned sales within your make and keeping the residuals and book value up. The problem was we lost steady ground on selling retail, not wholesale, off-make trading. And the private individual fill that void on their own. They do three things better than we do. They prepare their car for sale. That doesn't necessarily mean getting an oil change and a 25-point check. They prepare their presentation with items they've done to the car, a storybook on that vehicle. They do a knowledgeable, enthusiastic product presentation, and they're not afraid to justify the worth of what they're asking for their product. Now, how does a private individual know how to price it? Sure, they go on the internet like you and everybody else. They don't have a software program to go to. Their pricing is based on their payoff or what they perceive their vehicle is worth. That's the truth. How do I know that? Well, unlike most of your little handy-dandy software companies out there, to find out the real facts behind who is now the #1 sales force in our country, I went to them. I started scouting Walmart, the bank parking lots on the weekend, the grocery store, neighborhoods around my home that had cars for sale, and called those people. And I listened to their spiel, how excited they were about talking to me about that vehicle, what all they had done to it. Then I asked them, what do you think I should do? And they told me. Then I asked that all-important question, price. And then I asked, what is the least dollar you would take for that car? And the answer always came back only $200 to $300 less than they were asking. And why? I waited 4 days, and then I called these people back. By far the majority of them had sold those vehicles, and I asked what they brought. And it was within the range that they had told me they wanted. One sticks out in my mind vividly, which is a vehicle I would have never kept for retail myself, which has got to be a real bad car for me not to keep it. And when I called on this little Mazda, I asked them, wasn't $2,800 a little high, since the car had the jazzed up muffler that was on with actually a coat hanger, and had accent stripes that had been painted on dark green over black. And they said, no, we just haven't had the time or money to finish it. But here's what all we've done. I called them back in 4 days just out of curiosity. They sold that car for $2,000 and got a bicycle trade-in. Now, those individuals are back in the car business we used to be in. When you look at complaining to me about front-end gross on used being low, I tell you the same thing. You price your cars on the internet to be competitive, right? Yeah, that's what you have to do today. I said, okay, that's fine. I got no problem with that. But who are you comparing them to? Now, most of you are on 3 or 4 different software companies, but when you price your cars based on being competitive on their numbers, the dealers that are in that mix are all on that same program. So y'all are just pricing down, down, down to compete with each other. That's the numbers being used. If it were me and I were going to retail pre-owned cars today, I would retail pre-owned vehicles under 2 umbrellas. Every used car has a story, but if you can't tell it, you can't sell it. And with a history, there is no mystery. Now, those 2 items are the premise of our workbook. We want to teach you and your manager everything there is to know that we have learned about retailing pre-owned for a profit today, so that you can pass this on to your sales force. There's 3 things to make you successful selling pre-owned vehicles. 1, they've got to start. 2, they have got to stop. And 3, they have got to make a net profit. Anybody make a little gross. It's the smart dealer that knows how to make the net. I want to see you in school, man.